treat to be here, live at the Apollo. The Christmas special, no less. Yeah. What an absolute treat to be here this Christmas. Very weird being on a Christmas TV show. I think it's the only Christmas TV show that I do that the continuity announcer has to say, this show contains strong language and adult themes. That's not festive, is it? Are you like me, though, when the continuity announcer says those things, you go, ho, 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 ho. I love it, maybe they go, this show will contain bad language, nudity, and scenes of an adult nature. I think the Holy Trinity! Come on, all three, this is going to be a belter! I just want this to be a normal Christmas. I want us to go back to normal. I don't want to be swapping presents in lay-bys like we had to do last year. That was weird, wasn't it? It was like a weird drug deal. I want it to go back to normal. I want to argue with the in-laws. I'm looking forward to that this year. I want someone drunk crying in the corner at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. I want to be reading a news story about people who've gone to some shit winter wonderland in Dudley. Just in a muddy field, just pointing at like a dog with some antlers. The Santa told my kids to fuck off. I wonder if COVID has changed Christmas forever. You're going to kids' nativities and the three wise men will be bringing gold, frankincense and a lateral flow test. I want a proper British Christmas. There's nothing like it. You know, I always find there's two sets of people at Christmas time. There's people good at wrapping presents and normal people. That's it. And those people who can wrap presents properly really go for it, don't they? Oh, yeah, these are. Where are the good rappers? Where are the normal people? Yeah. The good rappers with their matching paper and bows and ribbons and bits of foliage and some wild winter berries. And the rest of us, just a Sports Direct bag and some sellotape. Occasionally, you'll go for the dad wrapping. That's where you get a present, you put it in the middle, and then you fold up the ends like it's a cracker. You feel like you're the first person who's ever done it. But I'll tell you what I read. I read recently that all the fancy wrapping paper, all those ribbons, all those bows, bad for the environment. All goes in a landfill somewhere. So actually, the rest of us people who've been just using last week's Stockport Express, we're saving the planet, ladies and gentlemen. We're the real heroes. We are the heroes. Greta likes us. I'm going to say something a little bit controversial now. I'll probably get cancelled for this. Well, look, this is the worry about doing stand-up now on television. Everything you say is a potential cancellation. You don't know, you know. Even jokes. Knock, knock. What about homeless people? They've not got a door. So I'm just going to say it. Just going to say it. I don't want to lose you here, okay? Remember, we're friends, okay? But this is just my opinion. I think Christmas dinners are shit. Come at me! Come at me! Come at me! They're a jumped-up Sunday dinner and you know it. All that stress and pressure on a Christmas Day morning. Dry turkey, you've got to have a glass of Vaseline to wash it down with. Bread sauce. Who's so mental that they ate a piece of bread and thought, you know what, this would be nice if it was wet. Sprouts? What are they, a bet? Who likes sprouts? Absolute vermin, the lot of you. What's with the sprout? Little devil's hemorrhoids, that's what we call them in our house. Little pockets of evil. It's like a full cabbage, just in one little bite. Like an undiluted cabbage. And anybody you say to, oh no, the way I cook them is different. They say, oh, I cook them in butter, I cook them in bacon, I put chocolate on them. You're trying to mask the fact that they're horrible. I don't do that with Jaffa cakes. Here's a Jaffa cake, I know they're horrible, so I've wrapped it in some ham. Is there anything weirder than other people's Christmases? Have you ever done this thing where you're going out with somebody new and then you spend Christmas at their family's house and halfway through you think, what fresh hell is this bullshit? And you try and be supportive, don't you, at first? You get up, everything's different. Oh, right, you all have a lie-in and then a walk before you open any presents. Yeah, fine, no, totally fine, yeah. What, nobody watches the snowman? Okay, yeah, no, me neither, yeah. But the one that gets me, it happened to me at the in-laws. They all open the presents at the same time, in a flurry, like absolute barbarians. In our house, you take turns to open presents. Yes, it takes 4.5 hours, but what else have you got to do? Yeah? Who's with me? Yes, it's like deal or no deal in our house, but we enjoy it. Take time to savour the presents and watch each other ripping it all over like heathens. Give me a cheer if you, like me, take your time to open presents one at a time. Yes. But that wasn't everybody. Who in this room just absolutely goes for it with a flurry of chaos? Unbelievable. Jesus hates you. Unbelievable. Traditions are very important to people. One of our famous traditions that we do in our house, every single year, we go to a town centre in the northwest and we watch a local celebrity turning on the Christmas lights. It's one of my favourite things to do. One of my favourite moments of doing this was a few years ago. We went to right into the centre of Manchester, and would you believe, on that night, turning on the Christmas lights was none other than 90s legend Chesney Hawkes, ladies and gentlemen. It was Chesney Hawkes. Everybody loves Chesney Hawkes, and he was on stage. I am the one and only. And we were all like, yes, you are, Chesney! You can't take that away from me. We wouldn't want to. It was brilliant. Then he finished, and we all went mad, 5,000 people all cheering, yes, Chesney! And he went, Merry Christmas, Manchester! And we went, Merry Christmas, Chesney! He said, did you like that? We said, we loved it! He said, you want another one? We went... Have you got another one? Because we'll hear that again, to be honest, mate. That is a tune! That was a good night. I'll tell you what's hard this time of year, trying to stay trim, trying to lose some weight. Are you going to bother this Christmas? Just leave it, man. Everything's got so many calories in. Just looking at stuff can put weight on. Even your advent calendar, every bloody does 250 calories. It's a nightmare. And look, you go, I've got MyFitnessPal. Does anybody use MyFitnessPal? I put MyFitnessPal, put all my food in it, you know, log all my food, make sure I'm not eating too much. Christmas time, what's the point? Scanning through, trying to find what 24 miniature heroes is for your breakfast. I don't know about you, right, but there's a thing out there, and you might have heard of this, it's called body dysmorphia. It's an awful thing. It's when you look in the mirror, and you're fine, you're absolutely fine, but when you look in the mirror tells you that you're fat or ugly or grotesque, right? And I've got whatever the opposite of that is. Because I can see it. I've got a belly, I've got the moves, I've got the chins. Yeah, when I look in the mirror, I think, you're nailing it today, James. You're quite hot to trot, big guy. Yeah. I tell you, sometimes I put the bins out in my underpants as a little treat for the neighbours. Oh, Mrs. Morris, you dirty old cow, you got me again. I needed to lose some weight. I don't know about you last year, but I piled it on last lockdown. My God, really went for it. So this year, I thought, no, I'm going to sort myself out. Beginning of the year, stood up some scales. I don't know about you with scales, but what I love about scales is they have been engineered to the nth degree by people at the top of their profession, and yet nobody has ever gotten a set of scales and taken the first reading as fact. You know, you get on it, you go, well, that can't be right, let's have a little go there. I spend 20 minutes river dancing on them sometimes. Or dragging it elsewhere in the bathroom, like, I just need to find a friendly tile. There's moments when you know you put on a few pounds, it might be a reflection, you know, a shirt doesn't fit you that it once did. For me, I remember very clearly, I was at home, I ran upstairs naked, I got a round of applause, and I was the only person in the house. That was a tough day, yeah. That's exactly what it sounded like. Thanks for reminding me. Social media is a good way of finding out you've piled on a few pounds. And not in a nasty way, I don't mean trolls. I mean even people who are being nice to you. People send me messages all the time. I don't know what it is about what I look like, but a lot of people look like me. Even in this room tonight, you'll have an ex-boyfriend, somebody who goes to your local cafe, maybe somebody who you work with, and it'll just be, you know, a white guy with dark hair trying to grow a beard, right? There's a lot of us. We're like 40% of this population. And yet people sometimes take pictures of these people, and then they tweet me and say, oh my God, my cousin, he looks just like you. And this has been happening for well over a decade, and it's yet to have been a compliment. Well, not even once by accident I've ever gone, oh, fair enough, he's all right. No, just a cacophony of munters for 10 years. I've just got a high opinion of myself, haven't I? Sometimes people come out in the street, they'll stop me in the street, oh mate, my pal, he's a spitting image of you, and then they bring this thing out the pub, right? And he can't wait to meet me, he's all excited. Yeah, mate, no way! Sometimes they have to do selfies as you and everything. Oh really? Because your eyes aren't even level. Obviously, I've got a high opinion of myself. When I was trying to lose some weight this year, my friend of mine said to me, look, don't just weigh yourself. This is a good tip, actually. He said, don't just weigh yourself, because you can't always, the scales don't tell the truth. Get a tape measure, measure your body, measure your tummy, your chest, your neck, and add those numbers up. And in a few weeks' time, hopefully, you'll have lost some numbers. I thought, right, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I measured myself. This is when I was at my absolute biggest, beginning of the year. Measured myself right here in the middle of the belly here, right in the middle of the barrel. Can't believe I'm telling this on telly, but here we go. 122 centimetres, it read. Thank you, one person. Big fan of the metric system, madam. Because the rest of the room are staring at me going, I don't know what that is. Let me tell you, I didn't know what it is either. So I went on Google, convert 122 centimetres. It's 4 foot. Just let that sink in for 1 second. 4 foot around the middle of a human being. And for the people at the back there, I'm actually 6 foot tall. That's the measurements of an oblong, not a person. 6x4's a bloody fence panel where I come from. Devastated is not the word. And Google's not your friend. Google's using you to keep you online. And underneath the information, it said, interesting things that are 4 foot. And I thought, I don't want to know, Google. But that little bit of my brain was like, I do. So I clicked on it. First example, Danny DeVito's 4'6". What a day I had that day. Woke up absolutely fine, went to bed with the knowledge that I could wear Danny DeVito as a belt. It's been an odd year and a half for rules people. I don't know if you're a rules person, I'm a rules person. But the rules people have struggled over the last year and a half with COVID because, you know, you look out, scientists, epidemiologists, nurses, doctors, researchers all over the world have been telling us that COVID is dangerous. But at the same time, to be fair, your brother's friend from the gym says it's not. And it's very difficult to know who to believe, isn't it? It's very difficult to know. I know. It's hard. And the problem is, when you're a rules person, you wore the mask, you did social distancing, you've had your vaccine, all the things that you did. When you're a rules person, you do no research because you just trust that people cleverer than you have done the research and you just get the last bit and you go, okay, cool, thanks, science. But people who don't believe in it, your anti-maskers, anti-vaxxers, they do loads of research. It's all bollocks, but they do loads of research. They've been to the University of Facebook and they've passed with flying colours. And the problem is, when you come face to face with them, We sound like the thick one. Because we don't know, this guy just wore it because somebody said to wear it. I don't know. It happened to me in the middle of the whole pandemic. I was walking in my village and my brother's mate from the gym, Dean, he saw me. Hey, Jay. All right, mate. That's all right, pal. All right, I see you wearing your mask, you fucking sheep. I said, yeah, I am, yeah. What are you wearing that for, mate? Don't do now. I said, well, I don't know if I'm honest, Dean, but I just figure if I'm wrong, I just accidentally wore a mask for a year. Whereas if you're wrong, someone's nana died. You know, and I'm just figuring out the two options. Mine's the safest, you know? Well, let me stop you there, folks, because let me tell you, Dean had me. Dean had me with an argument I'd not thought about. He said, all right, mate, explain this then. How come with a mask on, you can't get COVID, but you can still smell a fart? And I do not know, Apollo. I've literally no idea. I was flummoxed, I had nothing to say. I thought somebody needed to put Dean in a Chris Whitty press conference. You know when he opens it up to general questioning? Any more questions? Yeah, I got one actually, Whitty. Dean, Total Fitness. Look. I don't know if you've done any research on this or anything, but how come with a mask on you can't get COVID, but you can still smell farts? A lot of us are worried about it at the University of Facebook. Second semester. But Whitty, do you remember, he was like unflappable, wasn't he? He'd just be like, next slide. Maybe a graph about farts or something. He'd be like, well, as you can see here, Dean, the fart particles are smaller than the COVID particles. The farticles, as we call them in the medical community. I don't know. I have no idea. There's loads of things we don't know. My favourite argument about the vaccine is people going, yeah, but you don't even know what's in it. You don't even know what's in it, mate. I go, no, I've just had chicken nuggets for dinner, mate. Do I look like a man who cares what's in things? I've been giving my children Calpol for 12 years. I've never once looked at the ingredients. That pink magic could come straight out of a pig's arse, right into her mouth, but she's asleep and her earache's gone. Thanks, science.